Well, if you haven't seen $50,000 in a while as a real estate agent, here's what it looks like. I want to walk you through this process today and show you, as an agent yourself, how you get an extra $50,000 in commission. What I have in front of me is a ream of paper. You guys know how bad this drives me crazy to have one of these sitting in the house, as well as 500 envelopes. Now, as an agent, you know how the market's been. You know what 2025 has looked like. By the way, you need a whole bunch of stamps too, 100 per roll. You know what the markets look like. You know what 2025 looks like. Today, we're going to talk about exactly how you generate an immediate $50,000 for you. Being the end of the year, being that we're now in December, how do you make this happen for yourself? Welcome to today's morning meeting. I'm Greg Luther, the one guy that meets with you every single week to help you in growing your real estate business. Today, we're going to talk about old school mail, and we're going to talk about what you can do this calendar week or next week to grow your business and to pick up likely an extra $50,000. Now, the reason I say that is we're figuring a $300,000 to $400,000 home. Let's call it a $10,000 commission. Can you get 5 of those from 500 pieces of paper? I want you to think about this, because 2025 is now going down as the worst year in real estate in 31 years. That's some of the data that we've seen. It's the worst year in real estate for total number of sales. So a lot of people sandbagging, a lot of people holding back, waiting on rates, waiting on home values, all of that stuff. How do we actually get them to move? Who should we be marketing to? If I were going to put something on a piece of paper or 500 pieces of paper, who should I be marketing to? Well, the fact is, probably the greatest opportunity we've seen is right now in 2025, the end of 2025, rolling into 2026, expired and withdrawn homeowners. It is such a huge opportunity because we've never seen so many that are delisting on the market. You've seen some of the articles. As a matter of fact, if you just look on CNBC.com or any of those news sites, you'll see so many things talking about all of the homeowners that have delisted because they want to wait until after the holidays. They want to wait on market conditions, that type of thing. If you have 500 pieces of paper, and many of you know, this has always driven me crazy my entire life. I can't stand having one of these in the house, because if I can just print something on it and get it out to the public, I can turn it into money. The recipe is have a great offer, put it on your envelopes, put a stamp on it, get it out there, and if the offer is strong enough, they will call. Now, we already know these people are motivated. We already know they're willing to list with an agent. We already know they're willing to put their home on the market and they're willing to move. We also know how much the home won't sell for, so that's a really good starting point when we go meet with them. We can get it at the right number. But if you have a great offer that you're putting on these messages that you're sending out to the general public, you can start to get some phone calls for yourself. And I pointed out to a few agents here, Christmas falls on a Thursday this year, which means Christmas is Wednesday afternoon, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's going to be a long holiday. That many of you have heard me say that means it's a holiweek, not a holiday. But because it's falling towards the end of the week, the rest of the week is shot. So there's going to be a lot of homeowners sitting around, relaxing, enjoying a little bit of time sitting at home with the family, and they're going to be much more receptive. They're slower with what they're doing. They don't have as much going on in life, and they're going to be more receptive with a message. You do not want to wait until the first of the year. You do not want to wait until after New Year's to get these messages out. If you're an Inner Circle coaching member with us, you already have an expired letter that you can use right there on the member's website that's tried, tested, proven, and it's generating closings all the time. If you want to get yourself some listings and get them at the right price, because you already know how much it won't sell for, so that's a very good starting point to find out how much it might, you need to have a really good message that they receive the day after Christmas or the following day, where things are a little slower, they're spending more time with their mail, they're just sitting around the house. It's a good time for them to have a conversation about the upcoming year, about after New Year's. Here's what we're looking to do. Well, after New Year's is in like 5 days once they get that message. But you have to get it out. What I'll caution you of is sending 50 or 100 of these things and then being excited that you got yourself a listing. or you got yourself 2 or 3 listings. It's not going to get you where you need to be financially. As a real estate agent, you need huge volume. You need a lot of business. You need a lot of signs in the yard. You've got to work the right way in order to make the kind of money you want to make. So don't go small. Use the ream. Use the entire box of this stuff. And if you do this, if you have a good offer and you get it out to the general public, there's a high likelihood some of them are going to contact you. A very high likelihood of that. And I want you to think about this because we already know they were planning to move, and we already know that they did not relist, which means wherever they were going to move to fell out. They were in contract on new construction. Didn't sell their home in time, so they lost the new construction. They were relocating. Didn't sell their home in time, so now that relocation is over. You're going to have to get them to fall in love with shopping for another home before you will get them committed to listing their home with you. Don't send them something that says, if you'd like to sell your home, call me. Where are they going to move? Those plans fell out. You have to get them to fall in love with looking for another property first. That's that letter that's on the member site. If you're an Inner Circle coaching member with us, you have the tools you need to make money. You simply got to get them out there. This is how you make it happen. You utilize this and you get it out to make money with it. You can't make any money with blank paper sitting in. What do you want, extra paper in case your printer runs out? What are you doing? Have a solid message that goes out to them in a wanted, desirable way. The last thing you want to do is call them. That call is unwanted and unwelcome. So you need to make sure you get that message out there. If you have a QR code on it, to send them to a video. If you have them just call or text directly, there's a million ways you can go about this, but you need to beat obscurity. You have to have a great message that gets in front of the right prospects, and you have to do so consistently. But being that we are at the peak time, that there's a huge number of people that just withdraw, they did canceled, expired, withdrawn, whatever. They just withdrew from the market. And we're coming into the new year when people will be putting their home back on the market. Rates are dropping. We're finally seeing 6%, just a tick over, but that's adjusting as well. Now is the absolute perfect storm for you to make lots of money. What do you want to do? Wait until everybody else is making money and say, okay, now I see the market is better? No, be the better market. Create the better market. Get in front of people that you know were waiting for this very time. Give them an opportunity that makes sense for them, and make sure that they see they can find another property. You have access to unlisted and pre-market homes. All of the things that we do, that's designed to get the phone to ring and to provide a level of service they can't get anywhere else. If what you do is run a search on the MLS, well, hell, they could do that without you. That's why we offer what we offer. That's why we use our proprietary marketing plans to go find properties that match their criteria. You know why? Because we have paper. And we have a really good message, and we can put it in an envelope. We can throw these stamps on the things, and we can get phone calls from people that want to move. We make our own market. Yes, you can have a whole lot of closings and it'll never show up in the MLS because you don't have to have it in the MLS. No, it's not a pocket listing if they haven't agreed to list with you. You have to get your game plan together and understand you are in the marketing business. This is what you do. This is how you get your message out there. You cannot make money leaving this thing sitting in the house. So you got to ask yourself, what kind of message would I put on here? What's going to get them to call? What are their common objections they would have so that I can take a preemptive strike at that, end the letter, and I can make sure that I do get as many calls as possible? Because it's unrealistic, it's unreasonable to think I could mail to 300 expireds. How many of them were trying to sell their home in 2025? All of them. It's unreasonable to think I wouldn't get a dozen calls or more. So if I get enough calls and I get enough appointments, I could just take half of them. If they don't want to reduce their price, I'd say no thank you. I could just take half of them and I can make a boatload of money. If we're going to 500 people, and yes, there's 500 expireds in your area if you go from January 1st till now. Yes, there are. Because, by the way, your area is, how far are you willing to go if somebody's got $12,000 in an envelope for you? How far would you drive? Would you drive to Pittsburgh? Would you drive to Denver? Would you see how much flights are to go pick up $12,000? Don't tell me, oh, well, that's 55 minutes away. Go get the money. You're in a market condition now that requires you to put forth a little bit of effort to have a really good sales letter, to print them off. Yeah, I got to fold 500 letters. Yeah, fold them 5 at a time if it makes it easier for you. But yes, you're going to have to work for 35 minutes. Yes, you're going to have to do that. I know it's going to be tough. You'd rather be watching Storage Wars. I know there's other things you'd like to do. But yes, it's going to be so hard to make $50,000. Man, we're just going to have to work. But you have to have a good message. You have to have massive omnipresence. Get it in front of them and make sure that you are consistent with staying in front of motivated prospects. So hopefully that's helpful for you. You know, with all the videos that we have here on our channel, I can't imagine why you wouldn't be busier than ever while everybody else is sleeping. There's an awful lot of agents that won't watch this video, let alone do any work. So while everybody else is sleeping, they're on vacation, they're hanging out with their family, they're doing all the things they think that nobody's moving, you go get the money. The biggest money that's made, and if you've seen our agents on stage for the last 2.5 decades, you've seen them say, January was the biggest month of my year because I worked my tail off in December while everybody else was sleeping. Now's your time to do it. Hopefully this is just what you need to get you motivated, to get you ambitious. Give me a thumbs up if you think you're going to take action on something in the month of December. Let me know. Give us a like here as well and share this with another agent. Hopefully this is helpful for you. Follow the channel. Let me know if I can help you in any way. I'm Greg Luther. Thanks for being on today's morning meeting. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye for now.